Okay, so let's get into this. This is the part of this company that I absolutely love, right? Because don't let anyone tell you that network marketing doesn't work. If somebody comes to me and they tell me that network marketing doesn't work, immediately I know it's because they don't work. Do you have to put energy into it? Yes, you do. Do you want to see what we do in order to make our systems and our companies and our teams so big? Well, let me give it to you. So the basics of MLM is something that you just need to keep on moving with. So the first thing is you want to ask yourself, why have you chosen network marketing? And I think along the way, we often forget. I mean, I've been there times when I've gone, oh, I want to just go get a job, few and far between, but I have felt that way. And it's the fear of the unknown, right? It is very cheap to start a network marketing company. Where are you going to start an organization that can pay you every single week, regardless of any lockdown or anything like that, for a $200 investment? I mean, you can't start that. If you're going to start your own small to medium enterprise, it's going to cost you a truckload of money. So low investment to get started for MTI is one of the reasons why we love MLM. Low overhead costs. You don't have a cost to join a network marketing company like MTI. And this isn't a sales pitch. Even if you join other network marketing companies, there's not normally overhead costs that are massive, like rent and staff and things like that. That's important. Flexible hours. No one's telling me when to get up. No one's telling me when to go to bed. Yes, I get messages all hours of the day, but at the end of the time, my time is my own. I was able to retire from formal network marketing at 32. I was divorced when I was 28. It was in 4 years that I set myself free financially. And in 4 years from now, you can look back and see where you were. And if you've given it a good shove and you've worked a little bit hard, you'll find that you too can reap those kind of rewards, especially with a system like MTI, for instance. Great time to income ratio. And I want all of you guys to go and do this. Take your company or your work that you were before or that you're with at the moment, and I want you to take your income and I want you to divide it by 22 working days. Then I want you to take that amount and I want you to divide that by 8, because that's the average amount of hours that a person works a day. And I want you to go and figure out what you were earning per hour. So we're going to do this as an example, right? The average income in South Africa, in fact, not 45% of our country does not earn 5,000 Rand a month. But let's look at somebody earning 25,000 Rand a month, okay? Let's say after tax, that's what you get out. And sorry for our international friends, I'm working with Rand here, okay? So we divide that by 22 working days in the month, and then we divide that by 8. You're earning 140 Rand per hour if you are earning 25,000 Rand a month. Your boss owns your butt. He can fire you whenever he likes. The president can lock down our country for a pandemic. You have zero control, but in your mind, you're holding on to 25,000 Rand or 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 Rand because you don't value your time. Time is something you can never get back. Doesn't matter how hard you work. So the flexibility of network marketing should actually be your number one reason for joining. You don't have to work yourself to death. Do you have to work? Yes, you do. But you're going to have to work in anything you do. So why not rather do something that's got a great time to income ratio? I want you to find that number of what you are earning at the moment per hour. And I want you to stick that up somewhere and ask yourself if you're worth that. Are you worth 142 Rand an hour? Because shucks, I wasn't. Gets to meet lots of people. That's the part I love most about network marketing, but it's also the part I hate the most about network marketing. I get to meet some incredible people. Some of the most inspiring people that I've ever met has come from network marketing. It's a people with heart. It's a people with drive. And that's the kind of people that you want to associate with. Get rid of your broke friends who don't ever want to go anywhere. Get with people that are driven and motivated and want to live the most delicious life ever. The collective effort of earning component. You know what? If you own a small to medium enterprise, you'll know how difficult it is to run a company by yourself. It's hard. And I look now during the lockdown, some of these owners that are worrying about the people that are working for them, and the pressures of owning your own company is incredible. And then the pressure of being insecure if you are working for somebody who owns their own company, that's hectic as well. Whereas with MTI or network marketing, you've got people working together. Everybody shares in each other's struggles. I hear of this person struggling a bit and I could help them, you know, and we're all working together, earning together. It's a collective family of building in one direction at the same time. If you've ever watched any of those World War II movies, you'll see like the generals standing with their armies and their panzer formations and big horses and tankers, and everyone's moving in the same direction. That's always how I see network marketing. It's this passionate, determined, persistent movement towards financial future and security, you know, which we don't actually have if you're not in an MLM company. So set the right expectation for your MLM business. Guys, you're not going to come into a network marketing company and earn R1 million a week once off. It's not going to happen. You've got to have a realistic expectation. Set yourself a three-month goal. People think this is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. You've got to give it attention, and your expectations need to be realistic, because if they're not, you're going to disappoint yourself and quit, and then you're going to get out of network marketing. You can't do that. I've seen what's possible. You've seen what's possible, but you've got to set the right expectation for you. Know your product, services, and business plan. Guys, you've got to go into your back offices. You've got to go and learn about the trading. Go and read up about Bitcoin. And it's part of my daily dedicated action. You've got to go and learn about your CEO. Ask relevant questions. See how your back office works. Knowledge breeds competence. And when you are competent, it's very easy to be confident when you are speaking to other people. In fact, that's a psychological cycle. Competence and confidence, they call it the competence-confidence cycle. Competence breeds confidence. And how do you get competent? It's by learning, feeding yourself with information. Learn about Bitcoin, because when you know what you're talking about, you come across as being confident. Why? Because you know what you're saying to somebody. People ask me, why are you so confident about network marketing? Well, because I know. I've studied it for 7 years. I've done it for 7 years. That makes me competent, and that competence has created confidence that is surpassed. So find an MLM mentor. CD will tell you that this is important. You have to find somebody that will put you under their wing, somebody that knows what they're doing. And let me tell you, Clinton and I have mentors. I have not arrived. I still have so much to learn. I follow John Melton on Facebook. The guy is phenomenal. Nick Owusu from Ghana, Scott Smith from America. There are so many people that I learned from. Jesse Lee Ward. And some of these companies, people aren't even in my company, but I learn from them, because mentorship and learning and being teachable is probably the most enduring quality that you will have as a network marketer. Personal development. You know, I come from a very strict Afrikaans background, and people seem to think that personal development is airy-fairy nonsense, you know, like my mom used to say. Let me tell you, personal development will change your life. I saw the effects of personal development in my 11-year-old daughter this year. We started positive affirmations from LeBron James, and watching her captivate her mental state and then put that into the athletics field, saw her getting further in athletics right up to national level this year, which she had never done before. And it's all about personal development. You've got to learn new skills. It's just one of those things. Building your relationships on social media. This is something that people struggle with. And we're going to talk about attraction marketing here. You want to create social media content that is attractive to people. People must feel like they have to comment or want to ask. Now, social media attraction marketing isn't an easy thing to do. You've got to build up a following. And there's normally about a 6 months delay before you see proper results in social media attraction marketing. And you've got to be consistent in those 6 months. So you've got to consistently talk about Bitcoin. You've got to consistently share of yourself. You can't be selfish on social media. You've got to be prepared for a social media fight from time to time, right? But you've got to stick to your guns. And you can be controversial. You can be out there, but you've got to create a sense of people understanding who you are, where you're going, and what your thoughts are on certain crucial issues. And then you've got to share the everyday life things. So let me give you guys a tip, right? And just do this as an exercise. I'm doing well here tonight. Tomorrow morning, when you are having your cup of coffee, I mean, here's mine, right? I want you to take your phone and take a picture of your cup of coffee. And I want you to make sure that the background is pretty. Go and put it by a wooden brick wall, or by a view, or have it in your hand, or take a selfie with it or something. And I want you to post on Facebook that you love the fact that you get to have coffee with a beautiful view with your family, not stressed during lockdown because you've got MTI. and I want you to post that picture. And I want you to see the response that you're going to get. Some of you might already have a following, which means people are going to ask you, hey, what's MTI? The other people are going to look at that and go, oh, I wish I had that too, which is also an opening for a door. But what this aims to teach you is that everything is a marketing opportunity. Everything. And this is social media, guys, whether you like it or not, this is how it works. When you do your nails, that's a marketing opportunity. When you're doing calls like this, marketing opportunity. All of you should be taking a selfie of yourself. That's a selfie. You should be taking a selfie of yourself during this presentation and posting it on social media and telling people how you love your Thursday night business calls. There is so much material that gets created through everyday life. And you might think it's pretentious, but at the end of the day, it works. It's not about what you think works, but what you think is right or effective. It's about sharing of yourself. It's about people getting to know you. And it's a lot more difficult online than it is person to person. So that's my challenge. Take a picture of your coffee and then think of some mundane things that you can mock it up and make them excited. If you're a mom, take a picture of your kids baking. If you have a husband, my condolences. And also take a picture of your husband and post on Facebook that you love him or whatever, you know, and try and engage people across a lot of different social media platforms. There's lots of ways that you can do that. Show up at your MLM company events. Guys, being on these calls creates visibility. Telling people that you're on these calls are important. We're going to have a huge launch event for MTI later on this year. Make sure that you are there. If there's live presentations, make sure that you are there. Visibility in an MLM company creates credibility. Okay? Always remember that. Visibility creates credibility. And when you become credible, money starts flowing. It's just how things work. You guys all think that I know everything about MTI because I do the presentation. Because I'm visible, that gives me a credibility. It's the same thing with anybody doing these calls. So if you want to create true credibility, work on your visibility first. And social media is obviously an element of that. And then finally, follow up for network marketing success. Guys, many network marketers forget to FU. If you don't FU, you are not going to make money in this industry. Got to be tenacious, dedicated, and persistent, guys. You've got to follow up. And if somebody gives you a no, say this with me, where you're sitting, I eat no for breakfast. I can see TD's mouth is working. I eat no for breakfast. Fine, you've said no now. I'll send you my income for the next 6 months until you block me. Okay, you've got to be steadfast. You've got to be determined, and you've got to be confident. You know what you're earning. Why are you begging people? All right, so recruiting 101. This is how you recruit people. I'm not going to go through all of this. I'll make these slides available, and you guys can go and have a look at them. Firstly, you've got to decide that you're going to recruit, and you can't be like this. I think, will you perhaps maybe give me a little bit of time? I don't know, maybe, you know, I know you're such a flip, man. I get so annoyed. You know what? See yourself in armor. I'm watching Game of Thrones at the moment, so I'm a little bit on the warpath, okay? See yourself in war armor, and you are fighting for your financial future. Why are you being so meek? Why are you being so apologetic? Pull your shit together and start standing up for what you know. Make the decision. Be sure. Develop your skills. Work on your confidence. But recruiting is about deciding to recruit. You've got to make the decision, and then you've got to follow it up with action. But recruiting is 90% deciding. Confidence is 90% deciding. Put your armor on, stop being apologetic, and trudge forward. You can't let anybody put you off. Develop a recruiting mindset. So while you're going through this recruiting process, whether you're doing attraction marketing or you're actually speaking to people you don't know, or you're speaking to people that you do know, your warm market, you have to develop a recruiting mindset. And you almost have to be very aware of what you are doing. When people message me on Facebook and they go, hi, oh, I want to die. Because what? What do you want? Can we please just, hi, don't tell me hi, because I know you're either going to sell me something recruit me for something, or ask me to marry you. And I'm not quite interested in any three of those. So my mind is a recruiting mindset. And that's what I spend my time on. Develop an MLM recruitment mindset. It's to grow your business. Be in contact with your business. Don't sound apologetic about it. Be brave. Know what you're looking for. There's a certain way that a recruiter carries themselves. And this is where Clinton is absolutely brilliant. Let me tell you guys, being married to this man is horrific. He thinks he is the most attractive, strong, rich, romantic guy on the planet. He believes he is richer than our president. He doesn't care about the mathematics, but he has this aura about himself that no one can beat me. And I think that's what's created his recruiting mindset. It's that knowing, that understanding, and that comes from a surety of knowing where you're going. A recruiting mindset is 100% linked to your vision. If you don't have a vision and you don't know where you're going, you've got to work on that, guys. And if you lack vision, let me give you a tip. Write this down. When this lockdown is over, go and test drive a Lamborghini. If you lacked vision, that will help you. Go and have a cup of coffee at Santon City that you can't afford. That will give you vision. Experience things that are not in your life right now in order for you to create the vision of what your life should look like. And that's going to put you in that warrior recruiting mindset phase. Develop positive daily habits. Now, this is very important. As network marketers, we really struggle to manage our day on a day-to-day basis. It's difficult because you're not running your own time. You've got your children, you've got your husband, you've got your mother. Not that my mom's a problem, but at the end of the day, you are always dealing with these distractions. You know, oh, I read this article on behind MLM. Oh, okay. Always some distraction. But you've got to have positive daily habits. And I must tell you, again, this is another thing that I learned from Nick Owusu. He structures his day, and Clinton still does his business like that to this day, structures his day with a list of things that he's going to do that day, and he does not go to bed unless he's done them. And I think that's very important. You need to also connect with your team every day. And we're going to chat about a positive daily habit list now. Your positive mindset is very important, but you've got to be a slave. You've got to be a slave to your positive habits. And I want you to hear that again. You've got to be a slave to what you are trying to achieve. Can't just sit back. You have to do those things every day without thinking of it. Because if you don't, you've left a day completely unproductive and you're a day behind. So this is what our to-do list would look like for a new person that joins our organization, right? The first thing you have to do is divide your time into two things: actively building and taking care of your team and your business. So these things should take you no longer than 2 hours in a day, guys. It's not a tedious process. Find yourself a nice working space. The first thing is you need to make a list. Don't tell me that you don't want to speak to your family. Don't tell me you don't want to speak to your friends. Those are the people you want to help first. Can you imagine? I wasn't interested in joining MTI when Clinton started with it in April last year, but he signed me up anyway. I was the first person he signed up. Can you imagine if he was just like, oh, my wife doesn't support this decision, I'm not going to do it, or I'm not going to sign my wife up? Can you imagine? I got my whole family involved. My brother, my little brother, one of the best networkers I know, didn't want to look at network marketing again. He basically reaffirmed himself into joining a company today, actually. And what's interesting is he already has an organization where his stronger leg is like on 20-something Bitcoin. Half of the work is done for him. But that's because he got in at the right time. He got in. Even though he didn't feel it at the moment, he just got in. So friends and family, you've got to get them in first. You want your friends and family to be blessed, guys. You don't want to go on this journey alone. Force them if you have to, okay? It's important. Be strong in your conviction. So make a list. Make a list of everyone you know. And I'm not talking about the people you think will sign up. You are not there to make financial decisions for other people. You go and you find Eric Worre's Memory Jogger. It's on GoPro. So you go and check out Eric Worre's Memory Jogger. And there's a fantastic list of people that you can think of to write down. Who's your therapist? Who's your doctor? Who's your personal trainer? Who's your personal trainer's wife? Ask your family members, sit with your husband and go, hey, who do we know in finance? Who do we know in medicine? And when you make that list, you should come up with 300 names very easily. It's not a difficult thing. The average people I've seen over many years in network marketing and doing this training many a times, doing 300 names is nothing. It's not a difficult thing to do. Then what you want to do is you want to start connecting with those people. And you're not going to go, hey, I've joined MTI and you should do this too and we're Bitcoin. You're going to be, hey, I'm looking at this organization that I've been a part of. I've gotten great results and I don't want to do it without you. Please have a look at this. There are lots of ways that you can chat to people directly, warm market and cold market, regarding your company. But for that, you need to obviously know what you're talking about. So what we do is we then connect. Now, you can connect in a couple of ways. You can connect on Messenger. You can connect on Facebook. You can connect over a phone call, which is how we normally do it. You can connect on WhatsApp, which is essentially a, hey, I've got this really great opportunity and you might think that this isn't okay. Stop questioning yourself. Be confident, okay? I've got this great opportunity. I'm making money every single day. Please, can I just give you a little bit of information and you let me know if you want to make money with me or not? It's not a question of begging them. It's not a question of being apologetic. And when you get the no, you go, right, I eat no for breakfast. I'm going to send them my income for the next week, every week. It's an important thing to do that connection and then to keep the connection going. So you're not going to connect with 300 people, but set yourself a target. Say you're going to connect with 10 people a day. Answer their questions. Be informative. Connect with them. Ask the right questions. We're going to chat about that in a second. But it is important that you do the connections, because if you don't actually do them, nobody's going to join you. That's an important thing to do. And that's something you're going to get better at. I have a very good friend of mine, Andrew Core, that used to do a recruiting training. And he used to tell us how he would make phone calls when he would call people for network marketing. And he'd go, hi, I'm Andrew. Oh, shit. And then he'd put the phone down. And he must have done like 10 calls like that where he didn't even get to the point where he was telling someone about the business, because he was learning. Everybody sucks when they start. You get better as you go, but you got to be persistent. Got to have that armor on, and you got to eat no for breakfast. It's as simple as that. You got to send information. Guys, in different parts of the world, different ways of sending information is effective. You know, a leader of mine and I were talking this morning, and we were talking about Central Africa. People want to connect one-on-one. They want to see physical things that people have done. Whereas here in South Africa, it's like a face-to-face thing. But the international leaders are really great. The American market is fantastic with informative videos and links and websites and stuff like that. So we've got lots of marketing material. Use it. Develop your own. If what we have isn't working for you, develop your own. Make a one-pager. Do a call. Do what you have to do, what works for you. And then finally is closing and following up. You know what? Closing is something that you master when you are confident. Right, when are we signing up? I'm sending you my link. Have you done it yet? It's not a yes or no question. You're not asking someone for their opinion about your company. You already know what you know. You're asking them if they want to be a part of it. And that's a very different approach. What do you think about my company? Versus, do you want to make money? It's a very different approach. And then finally, you got to follow up. Following up is probably the one thing that people struggle with the most, because it's just exhausting. But if you keep a list, you follow up with people all the time. People who follow up make money. It's as simple as that. All right, so your team in your business is a lot easier. Here you want to check your back office. You have to log into your back office every day, guys. Every day. You've got to check your trading profit every day, because it puts you in a mindset of being business orientated. These things are important. You need to familiarize yourself with the back office. I still get questions of people going, how do you withdraw from MTI? And I want to lose my mind. And then I respond and I go, in your back office, there's a little button that says withdraw. Guess what that's for? Withdrawing. Okay, so at the end of the day, you want to familiarize yourself with it, because it's important that you know what's going on in your organization. Evaluate your strategy. Check your binary system. Look if you're building in the right place. If your weaker legs growth is slowing down a little bit, put some energy into it. If the people in there aren't working hard enough, you need to do two things. You need to put new people in there, and you need to motivate the people that are not working in that team. push them for P1 bonuses, push them to find their 2. And when you sign people up, make sure that they understand your expectation. I don't sign people up if they don't want to find 2 people. You cannot join my team if you're not willing to find 2. It's an important thing. If you want my time and you want my attention, then you've got to bring what you can bring to the party, and you've got to do it quickly. Check the trades every day. You need to know what our trading profit was the day before, because that affirms and asserts what you know about the company. Do any of you know what our trading profit was for the day before? And I know this is important because Clinton does this. He checks his back office all the time. And it's because that creates a sense of control. I know what's going on and trudging on forward. Read up on Bitcoin. Guys, you've got to learn about Bitcoin. This is going to be the quickest way for you to overcome a lot of the resistance that you might get in a recruiting space. You need to know what Bitcoin is. You need to explain it to people simply. You need to be able to transact in Bitcoin. Read up about what's happening. Form your own opinion on Bitcoin. That's okay. We're all in the same boat. You've got to learn. Watch a testimonial. Now, these are fantastic because how I see this is, and I'm going to be very honest with you guys, if I look at Clinton, for instance, right, and I hear his story, I mean, he's the top earner for MTI. This guy makes crazy money. But when I look at him, I go, shucks, man, if he can do it, then I can do it. I look at Ignatius Bell. That guy is wonderful. He's amazing. But I look at him and I go, he's a normal guy. I can do it if he can do it. Testimonials are a great way to learn new stories and for you to up your confidence level. And if someone else can do it, why can't you do it? What's holding you back? And don't give me a sob story about circumstance, because all of us have different circumstances. So does that person who's making millions. Connect with your team. Guys, you've got to send a message to your team from time to time. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. Maybe just comment on something on their Instagram or their Facebook account. Send them a WhatsApp message. Hey, how are you doing during the lockdown? You know, that kind of stuff. You want to show people that you care. And I'm hoping that you do care about your downline. It's my problem. I care too much. But at the end of the day, I think that's what makes us different to other people. You know, you truly want people to earn and you want to check in on them. It's an important thing. And then obviously we do personal development every day. We sleep with our affirmations every night, but we try and do personal development every day. If some of you are looking for something new, Brendan Burchard is amazing. He really is fantastic, and his work is very good in the personal development space if you want to go and check something new. But otherwise, you can go look at Tony Robbins, any of these guys, Robin Banks here in South Africa. There's lots of great motivators and personal development people out there. Just connect with one and go through the series of their work, and then tomorrow choose someone else. It's an important thing to do. So I hope this helps, you know, that you've got like a daily task list, that this gives you a little bit of direction for the day. You need to learn how to tell good stories. And this is so important, because if you cannot connect with people personally, you will not be successful in network marketing. Guys, you've got to learn. You've got to tell stories. This is what the most successful network marketers in the world are doing. Learn the stories, retain them, share them. And your story is a great place to start. What is your story? Look at some of our great networkers in just our business, MTI, and they all have a story. Ignatius' story is phenomenal. Russell Gerard's story, Joel Santiago's story, Scott Smith's story, Liz Moulton's story, Clinton's story. These are all stories that stick in my mind. And when I'm talking to people, I can go, oh, this guy would actually relate to Clinton's story. And I go, you know what? My husband used to earn a printing store as well. Shucks, I know that you guys struggle with new business and the digital market's taken over. My ability to retain stories and then apply it and connect with somebody, I call them red flags, connect with somebody, creates what we call a towards state. And that person is then far more inclined to listen to you because it feels like you care. When you're standing in the queue at McDonald's and there's some woman's toddler who is screaming their head off, that's a red flag for me. Hey, shucks, it's really tough being a mom. Immediately that person is connected to me. Oh, you're a mother too. Oh, you hear what I'm getting? I'm going, yeah. Not just is it them screaming in the McDonald's, but oh, how expensive are kids these days? There's such a subtle way to take people from an average conversation where you connect to taking them into a business conversation. Oh, we found a hedgehog in our garden yesterday. Oh, guess what? We've got 2 pet hedgehogs. How expensive is it, hedgehog food? You know what I mean? Lots of ways that you can connect with people. But in order to do that, you need to retain stories and share stories. This is why we give you testimonials. There are so many testimonials available. Go and watch them, learn them, because those stories will become the base of how you connect and reel people into an organization in a personal and affectionate way. You need to listen and ask questions, and you need to ask the right questions, and you need to ask bold questions. When you are speaking to people, I can't tell you how many times I've said to people, how much do you earn in a month to survive? And I know that some people feel offended by that, but other people look at that and they go, wow, this girl cares. It's because I do. I'll say, how much do you need to earn to get through the month? And they'll say, 10,000 Rand. And I go, okay, right. So you can use the company in the ways A, B, C in order to reach your goal. So let's make a to-do list. First, you got to sign up. Sign up, and then let's get working on a to-do list to get you to that 10,000 Rand a month. But you've got to show an interest in people's lives, and you've got to listen. You've got to listen to what they have to say. And unfortunately, 90% of network marketers struggle with asking the right questions and listening. And this is why so many of them fail, because you're so worried about the recruiting. Your focus needs to be on the person, not on what you're trying to achieve. People feel that very quickly. So ask the right questions and listen. And then enthusiasm. Guys, you know what? I know that it is not always exciting to watch your bank balance. So find what excites you. Find what sets your soul on fire and use that to fuel when you are talking to people. Guys, if you're in a bad mood, girls, if you've got PMS, if you're fighting with your husband, please don't go recruit people, because people feel that energy. I have somebody who says to me, I'm getting all these people saying to me, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam. And I said to her, but how confident are you with the company? And she's going, you get what you give. If you are giving off a feeling of being insecure and unsure, people are gonna resonate with that, and they're gonna give that back to you. So if you're getting a consistent objection, go and look at your approach. I can guarantee you will find the objection in your approach. It's very important. So that enthusiasm is something that you need to work with. Personal development, again, important. Listening to the testimonials, very important, because your enthusiasm is infectious. Look at all of you still sitting here for an hour after a presentation, because I'm enthusiastic. I'm excited. I'm passionate about what I do. You bring a pumped up, vibrant, energetic feeling when you are speaking to people, and that's infectious. And people are more inclined to sign up with somebody like that. It's just the way of the world. Then you need to have big dreams. Guys, if you don't have anything that you're working towards, you're not going to have the fuel to carry you through the journey. So if you're trying to recruit people, but you haven't figured out how much you want to earn at the end of the month, or you haven't set yourself a goal, or if you haven't done a vision, and this isn't that airy-fairy nonsense that you guys seem to think is not important. If you don't have a vision board, a proper vision board that your entire family can see, are you even a network marketer? No, you're not. You're literally just somebody trying something and setting yourself up for failure. You need to know where you are going, because if you don't know where you're going nowhere. It's that simple. So decide to be faster and stronger, and make a decision that you're going to recruit more and grow exponentially in an enthusiastic, determined kind of way. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. Those are all factors that are completely independent from your level of confidence and your level of enthusiasm. It's all up to you. We've got leaders in this team that are older than 60 years old. I mean, Clinton's way over 80. And look at his confidence and enthusiasm. You just swore. You can't swear. Okay, it's all about confidence. The final thing, and the most important thing that you will learn in your MLM journey, besides doing your daily tasks and a couple of steps on when you're actually speaking to people, is understanding that you are in control. When you get to a point where you take control of your business, you take control of your results, and you are no longer just a bystander going with the flow, that's when things change. As long as you're going to expect your upline to do everything for you, you're going to go nowhere. As long as you're going to expect your hunt to answer your email, you're going to go nowhere. As long as you're going to expect me to be on the phone for you for 3 hours a day, counseling you out of your sister that said no or said that this is a scam. You're not going to go anywhere. You need to cut yourself off from the negative vibes. You need to direct your energy as a warrior in the right direction. You need to know what you're doing, and then you need to be determined, persistent, and organized. Today, I'm going to connect with 10 people. This is who I'm going to connect with, and this is going to be my strategy. Tomorrow, I'm going to send them information. The day after that, I'm going to follow up, and then I'm going to follow up every single day for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be confident. I'm enthusiastic. I'm doing my personal development. I'm making sure that I've got a visual representation of where I'm going. Network marketing is not easier. It's not easier. And if anybody ever told you that it is, they are lying. But let me tell you, it is easier than working for a boss. It's easier than running your own company. It's easier than being unemployed. Network marketing is an unbelievable industry that is changing lives every single day. And you'll see that the opposition to it is becoming less and less and less. So we're going to end this call and this training with a story that I want to share with you guys. And it's one that impacted my life in a huge kind of way. And you'll see that on all my social media platforms. I call myself a Duba Lion. So you're going to get some inside info on where that comes from. 4 years ago, I went to a training by a gentleman, no, 5 years ago, by a gentleman by the name of Richie Achukwu. You guys can go find him on Facebook. He's phenomenal. He's a Nigerian-American personal development leader and trainer. And as I walked into his training session, I was a little bit annoyed because I developed training material. So I did go through a bit of a phase where I might not have been as teachable as I should have been. But as I walked in, I saw this big picture of a lion. And immediately I was drawn to it. I thought, wow, that's really pretty. And I walked into his training and he said, Sherry, I want to tell you a story. Now, in Botswana, there was a pack of lions. And these lions were separated from the rest of the lion pack. So a small group of them, right? And the Botswanian government had had a look at these lions that were separated through this environmental landmass. And they needed to know, are they going to airlift these lions out? Are they going to try and save them? What are they going to do? And ultimately, they decided that it wasn't financially viable to try and save them. So they led them to their own devices, essentially. And the area that these lions were stuck in was like a foresty, wetland, muddy, water, everything that cats don't like. You know, lions like open high felt, you know, plain fields where they can hunt a gazelle or a zebra or something. And here wasn't any gazelle or zebras or anything like that. In fact, there was like fish and water and mud and bugs and all that kind of nonsense. And what they found was actually astounding, because a couple of years later, they went back to that environmental landmass to go and check if did these lions die out. And what they found there was beyond unbelievable. These lions had walked in the mud so often that their front legs, their front paws became bowed, giving them much broader shoulders, and grew their muscle mass in a massive kind of way, because walking in mud versus walking on dry land, you can imagine. And what they then also saw was that these lions were 450 kilograms in weight compared to average lions that they were finding in the other parts of Namibia and Botswana. Then they observed these lions literally diving under the water and catching fish. These lions swim to feed themselves. Is that typical for a lion? No, lions hate water. And here's the moral of the story, right? If you go to Botswana today, you will find the largest breed of lions known to man in that same environmental landmass, and they're called Duba lions. Go and Google this. Go and have a look at Duba lions. D-U-B-A-L-I-O-N-S, right? And here's the situation you're in. You might be stuck in a spot where there's mud, and you might be struggling, and your muscles might be aching, and you might be hungry because you're struggling to eat. But you're going to decide how your circumstances determines how your story ends. At some point, you're going to have to learn to walk in the mud, zip it and move on. You're going to have to learn new skills in order to further yourself financially. You're going to have to learn how to recruit. You're going to have to learn how to deal with people. You're going to have to learn to eat no for breakfast. You're going to have to learn to be confident. You're going to have to learn to be outgoing. And those are all new skills that's going to help you catch fish. And at the end of the day, you're either going to emerge dead because you've died out and given up, or you're going to emerge as one of the greatest lions or creatures to ever have walked the face of the earth. And all it is a decision. It's all a need for survival, and it's all a wantingness of greatness. It's as simple as that. There's no secret formula. There's no secret formula. You got to just want to do better. So I hope that this helped you guys a little bit. I'm a Duba Lion, and I surround myself with Duba Lions. My children are Duba Lion cubs. They know that story. And at the end of the day, for me, this has changed my life. And I know that if you give it time and attention and you work hard, it will change your life too. It doesn't even matter what company you are with. All right. Let's quickly check if there's some people that have asked. Mentorship works. You're quite right. It does. Sorry, did I miss that now? Okay. I eat no for breakfast. Yeah, you want to get used to that. See if there's any questions. Yeah, Teddy, you're right. Stories still do sell. It works. And work on your posture. That is important. This presentation, what I'll do is, again, I'll put my number here. You can message me and then I can send it to you. That's not a problem at all. And I did record this, so I will make the recording available on my YouTube channel. Yonder Bood, where can we get these great testimonials? There are only 12 videos on the MTI website. Those 12 videos contain far more than just one testimonial per video, so that should keep you busy for a couple of days, and we'll work on some more. Yes, we will make a recording of this training, not a problem. If I have 100 people to enroll, should that be directly under me, or can I give them away as 2 to each person? What is the best in the long run? This is a great question. I am going to do a strategy training session on Tuesday night after our presentation, how to strategically build a binary system, and then I'll help you with that. But I don't believe in front lines the length of the nail. I always believe to go downwards, but you've got to do that with care. So we'll help you with that, guys. That's not a problem. Oh, let me see if there's anything else. Please don't message me on the group, you guys, because as soon as I go out here, then I leave the chat. So you have to scroll back and get my number and then add that to your WhatsApp to get the presentation, okay? Otherwise, I will make the recordings available to everybody. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys liked the training. Go and tell the world, people. We have a great thing here to change a lot of people's lives. Hadat, you are 100% correct. We are very, very blessed with MTI. And we're blessed with incredible leadership that are all willing to give of themselves freely to you guys as members. And I'm hoping that you would then step up and become leaders as well. You know, as soon as you're a part of this organization, you're a leader. It's just a decision you've got to make. So that's me. Peace out, Dubaline. It's been a great evening. Thank you so much. I actually need to go and get some water and see if my children are still alive. But it's really been an honor. Thank you so much for always joining us and for sharing with everybody and for just being so wonderful. You guys are actually amazing. I really appreciate it. If you've got any questions, let us know. We'll deal with them on Tuesday night after the presentation. We'll do a strategic business building training on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I'll put it on all the groups. You guys can check it there. If you're not in a WhatsApp group or you haven't checked out the Telegram, you want to get that done as soon as possible. And I'm just excited. I mean, how cool is this, right? We're all in the right time. We're in the right place. And we can only go forward from here. So thank you so much. I appreciate it like you will not believe. And I wish you all the best.